Welcome to the training on how to make 1K to 5K daily on autopilot. No grinding, hustling, or burnout, even if you have no experience or aren't tech savvy whatsoever. How are all my queens doing out there? If you're a guy, that's okay. You can learn how to get this money too. But for the most part, my audience is women. So, hey, queens. I'm super excited to get into this training with you guys today. Even if your following is a small audience, right? All you really need, to be honest, is a loyal, engaged audience of the right people that will always convert better than thousands of uninterested followers. There's nothing worse than having a huge following and then nobody is your client that you're looking for. You just have a whole bunch of vanity metrics, right? Even if you're not a natural salesperson, this training is for you. And to be honest, people buy transformations, right? They don't want to be sold to. Nobody wants to go to a sleazy car salesman or one of those people that are online that you can tell all they want to do is sell, right? No sales tactics. When you focus on helping people, and I want you to hear me, selling becomes easy. Your schedule is packed, that's okay. Most people nowadays, they don't have a lot of time. And so in this training, I'm going to show you how, if you have just a couple hours a day, 1 to 2 hours per day, that this training is for you and you can still make 1,000 to 5,000 plus per day with the method that I'm going to teach you. It allows you to scale your income without working more hours so that ultimately you can have more time with your family and your loved ones, right? So, who is this training for? This training is for you if you're done with the 9 to 5 and want financial freedom. You're tired of waking up, building somebody else's business. That was me. I was in corporate, and you know there's more for you, but you need a roadmap to turn your skills into a profitable passive income stream. This is for you if you don't have a big following, like we talked about before. You don't have a big email list. Heck, you might not have any email list at all. You might be just starting, but you do have a message on the inside of you and the drive, the passion to change lives. And Cash Course Creator, which is what you're watching right now, will show you how to sell without the influencer status. Without the sleazy sales tactics, you're going to be focusing 100% on helping people get their transformation, just like what you want, right? So if you want to create a course, but you don't know where to start, how to start, Cash Course Creator will eliminate all the detours and guesswork so you have a clear path to scale. This training is not for the info hoarder, the professional, I like to call them the professional information takers or consumers, but they never implement anything, right? So if you're addicted to buying courses, but you do not implement them, this is not going to help you. Results come from action. That's with anything you do in life. If you're jumping from course to course, if you're jumping from one thing to another, and you're not giving yourself sufficient time to master that skill, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're never going to be able to scale that way. This is not for you if you're looking to be a millionaire overnight. We all would love that, trust me. But if you're looking for a get rich scheme, this isn't it. There's not any of them out there. It doesn't matter what people tell you. The people that you see have quick success, most likely is because they put all the years of work in prior to that. And it only looks or appears like they've had overnight success, but you don't know all the labor that they put in before they became a star, before they came to the top and everybody started knowing them, right? This is a real proven framework for building sustainable and profitable course businesses. This is not for you if you make excuses. If your default is, I don't have time, I'm not tech savvy, or maybe I'll check this out later, this is not your season, because Cash Course Creator is only for those that are ready to move through resistance and take aligned action. Hear me when I say this, because I mentor and coached probably over 250 people, right? And I always tell them that if you are speaking that you don't have time, or you're speaking that you're not tech savvy, or you're speaking, how do I know if this is for me? You're already counting yourself out, and you can't win that way. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt that it's in you to win. Even if you don't have the right strategy yet, even if you don't know what direction to go yet, you still believe on the inside of you that you have something great to offer the world, right? What you're going to learn in this training today is the magnetic formula that transforms your zone of genius into a course your dream clients will literally line up to buy. The problem nowadays is that everybody's trying to walk in somebody else's lane. You're trying to do what the next person is doing, and your blueprint, your fingerprint, God created you uniquely different. He created you with a specific call, a specific person that He already orchestrated and handpicked you to fulfill. So, why in the world would you try to do what everybody else is doing? This course is going to pull out of you your zone of genius and put it into a course that your dream clients, your tribe, the people that God has aligned to your life, whether you know it or not yet, by the end of the course, you will know, but it's going to pull out of you your zone of genius and place it into a course that your dream clients will literally line up to buy. You're going to learn the Royal Revenue sales system. Everyday women are using this system to bank 6 and 7 figures without hustle, burnout, or posting 24/7. We want that soft life. We don't want to have to be out here grinding, hustling for sales, in everybody's DM, out here just doing the most to make money, right? We want to learn how to, like Proverbs says, in the word, it says that a Proverbs 31 woman will multiply what's placed in her hand. She gets up before it's light outside, right? She goes and considers a field. I need you to think like a woman, like a queen that you are. I need you to know that there's a smarter way to multiply what God has placed in your hands, and it doesn't have to be the way that you've been programmed and the way that you were raised to do it. I get hard work, but that doesn't mean that you have to work harder and not smarter. Millionaires are being birthed right now. Billionaires are being birthed right now, not from working harder, but from working smarter, from having systems in place, funnels in place, sequences in place, sales systems in place. And if you don't know any of that, that's okay. There's simple strategies, plug and play systems, plug and play templates, done for you services that will handle all of that. You just have to be willing to open your mind and know that there's a way that you don't know to be able to make 10, 20, 50, 100K a month. And that's what I'm here to teach you today. The 3 silent mistakes that keep new entrepreneurs broke and block them from building $1,000,000 businesses. So let me tell you about a success story. This girl named Rosalind, she was a single mom of 2, clocking 60-hour weeks at her job. She was drained. She felt like she had no time, and she was barely paying the bills. Nights were filled with worry, early mornings, and chaos, right? She knew she had a gift that she could teach like no one else could. Her friends would always tell her, you should create a course, but she shrugged it off. How many times do we know that we need to do something, but we shrug it off, right? She always would say things like, I don't have time, or I'm not tech savvy, or who would buy from me, right? Then one night, staring at her phone while overdraft emails rolled in, she had a breakdown turned breakthrough. She saw a post that said, you're one course away from the life that you want. Her heart literally started pounding and she jumped. No clue how, but she took the leap of faith. There was something that ignited on the inside of her, right? There was something that she knew that when she read that testimonial, that something ignited on the inside of her, and she didn't even know what she was doing. She didn't know how she was going to do it, but she took the leap of faith. Rosalind started her journey, and everything began to shift. She learned how to package her knowledge into a wildly irresistible offer. She pre sold her course before she even created a single module, working smarter, not harder. She automated her sales with systems and started attracting dream clients every single week. Within 60 days, she replaced her 9 to 5 income, and within 4 months, she had already hit $1,000 in revenue. And now she works 3 to 4 hours a day. She makes money in her sleep, and she helps hundreds of women reclaim their power and their profit. You see, Rosalind didn't just launch a course. She launched her freedom. She didn't care that she was scared. She moved anyways. She didn't care she was broke. She moved anyways. She moved before she was quote unquote ready. And I need you to hear me. So many times you feel like, oh, it's not the right time. And so many times we say things, these jargon sayings like, oh, in God's perfect timing. Yes, I believe there's a time and a place for everything. But most of the time, God has already authorized you to go out and do the thing, and it's you that's holding yourself back. I always move forward and I wait for God to tell me no. You know why? Because I'm a woman of faith. And I believe that faith without works is dead. And I believe that I know my Father's voice. And if I'm stepping in an area that I'm not called to step in, that He will stop me. But I would rather get out of the boat a million times over and begin to sink, knowing that I tried, than to stay in the boat when there was a possibility that I could walk on water, when there was a possibility that on the other side of me stepping out that one time, that there was $100,000 month waiting for me, that there was 100 women's lives that I would be able to touch because of my faith. That's what made her unstoppable, her faith. My promise to you is that I want to give you as much value as possible so that you walk away from this training empowered. I'm going to give you real examples of what's possible and how you can finally get the same results. This isn't going to be another masterclass where you walk away confused. It's not going to be another masterclass where they talked fluff and talked about themselves the whole time. This is going to be actionable steps so that you have the blueprint to literally print cash in your sleep and be present to live your life on your terms, not your boss's terms, not that 9 to 5 terms, not the corporate terms, but on your terms. You weren't called and created to punch a clock for 3/4 of your life to then put your purpose on the back burner and never do what God has called you to do. You are called and created to do great and mighty things. But how can you do that if you're tied down to a job 60 hours a week? How can you do that if your finances aren't there to move and do all of these things that your heart and your dreams are set out to do? Today, that changes. What I need from you is I need you to turn off all distractions, close the door, lock in for the next 45 minutes. Let me show you and take you deep so you don't miss a thing on what you need to do to be able to hit those 1K, 5K days on autopilot. Close all the tabs on your computer or laptop to avoid any distractions, any notifications from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Give me your undivided attention and promise me you're not going to be working in the background. I am so guilty of that. Every time I'm working, I have somebody playing in the background, right? But then we get distracted. So I need you to do that for me. Commit to watch until the end. And as you watch until the end, I have a bonus that I'm going to surprise you with if you watch all the way until the end, okay? But I need you to decide to take action with the information that you learned today and not be a professional information taker that I was talking about before, but never implementing anything that you learn. That's not what you're going to do today. If that's how you were in the past, today we're crossing the line and we're stepping into a new era, a new season, right? So at the end, the bonus that I'm going to give you is a course clarity accelerator. I want you to walk away with something tangible at the end of this training besides the insane value and strategies that are going to blow your mind. It's literally going to shock you how people are making 10, 50, $100,000 every single month from course creation. But I want you to walk away with something tangible, okay? So I'm going to give you a course clarity accelerator when you stay all the way until the end. It's a plug and play workbook plus 10 AI prompts that's going to help you clarify your course idea, name it, and outline it in 30 minutes or less. This bonus gives you instant traction, no more spinning in circles wondering what to create or how you're going to package it. You'll leave the webinar today with a course idea and an outline that you can build today when we get off this webinar. It's only available at the very end of this course. So who is Coach Stephanie? Who am I? I'm a single mom to a 17-year-old kingdom-driven CEO who loves Jesus with all of my heart. I'm sold out for Jesus. I live my life based on the principles and the foundation of what's in his word. I changed my life about 15 years ago, completely sold out for him. And the powerhouse behind my brand, Queen Royale. Now, I want you to hear me because I didn't inherit a business. I literally built this brand from scratch, starting right where you are. I was tired. I was overworked. I was burning myself out building somebody else's dream. And I got sick and tired of building somebody else's empire. I do know the grind and I do know the doubt. And I also know what's possible when you have the right blueprint and you put all of the doubt and fear to the side. I scaled my first brand to $750,000 in 1 year. And I walked away from 15-hour days and burnout because I knew that I was called to build an empire and not just make a living. Since then, I've created a 6-figure digital brand that will go on to do 7 figures this year and that pays me daily without sales calls. I don't do any type of constant posting 3 to 5 times a day, like all the craziness that people are telling you to do, or without hustling. I've coached over 250 women, single moms, queens, corporate professionals, creatives to go on their journey to earning 10, 50, and even 100K months. Now, I'm handing you today the exact blueprint on how to scale using course creation, automations, and the systems that do the heavy lifting for you so you're not glued to your phone or social media. Even if you're starting from zero, you guys, you don't have to have that audience. You don't have to have a million products right now, or you don't even need to know where you're going to begin, right? I've been there and I've built all of it out from scratch. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. But it wasn't always like this. I used to be the one that clocked 60 hours a week in corporate. I used to be the one getting there early and staying late, building somebody else's dream while mine collected dust. I barely saw my kid, and every day, I kid you not, it was like I was slipping further and further away from the life that God had called me to. There was a constant gut wrenching ache in my spirit, like I was literally burying the very gifts and calling that God gave me. I knew I was created for more, but yet I was stuck in a cycle that drained my soul. I felt trapped. I was completely overworked. I was underfilled, like I was watching my purpose pass me by while I punched a clock for someone else's wealth. Come on, somebody. Deep down, I knew I was called to lead. I knew I was called to empower. And I knew I was called to train up other kingdom minded entrepreneurs who felt the exact same way that I did. And I refused to let another year pass me by, no matter my circumstances. I didn't have the finances. I didn't have the money. I was a single mom. I am a single mom working 60 hours per week. I had all the weight of everything you could think of on my shoulders, but I didn't let it stop me. I knew that I was going to align with God's vision for my life, no matter what other step I was going to take. That was the day that changed my life forever. There came a moment where I was ready to walk away from everything. I was burnt out, broken, questioning everything. But in that quiet, desperate place where sometimes we need to get still quiet before the Lord, He reminded me of who He called and created me to be. He reminded me whose I was. He reminded me what He sent me here on this earth to do. He gave me divine instructions, and that's when Queen Royale was born. It's a brand built not just for me, but for you, for the moms, the single parents, the kingdom-minded entrepreneurs who are drowning in demands, but starving for purpose, for the corporate queens who feel physically sick every time they miss another milestone in their kids' life, another milestone in their family's life, another milestone in their spouse's life, when they get their PTO denied or have to ask permission to be present for their own families. Queen Royale was created to give you back your most valuable asset, which is your time, so that you can walk fully in the purpose that God designed for you, fully in the purpose that you have it burning on the inside of you to fulfill. You just don't know which way to go or how to get to that destination. Now I have the luxury and the authority of building a multiple six-figure brand, and I'm on track to seven figures while I have the honor of inspiring, equipping, and activating the next generation of kingdom wealth creators. Your story does not end in burnout. It begins with obedience, and I'm here to show you what's possible and to challenge you, woman of God, man of God, step back up to the plate and take your position back. I tried everything, you guys. I started a cleaning company, but quickly realized I was trading time for money with no real freedom. I dabbled in property management and real estate for a whole year, but the hustle had me overheated, had me overwhelmed. It left me drained and it left me unfulfilled. I tried affiliate marketing, but without a clear system or offer, the commissions were inconsistent and tiny. I became a director of a daycare facility. I knew I wanted to impact the next generation. So I felt like, okay, let me become a director and then I'll go on to own my own facility. But the long hours took me away from my own child, the one I was called to raise up, right? So I then went on and worked in retail and restaurant management for about 10 years until burnout became my norm yet again, and the paycheck didn't match the sacrifice. I know there's so many of you out there that paycheck does not equal up to the sacrifice of not seeing your family, of not walking out your purpose, of not being able to enjoy life on your terms. That's when I launched an apparel brand and even tried Etsy and Shopify, but none of it felt sustainable long term. And I want you to hear me, because that was the brand that launched me into entrepreneurship. That was the brand where I saw $100,000 months, and it began to be my norm. Right? Wealth began to attract to me, but I was doing 15-hour days, and nothing in the world matters when you have no life. It doesn't matter what's in your bank account. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. If you cannot live life and you cannot experience the very reason why you wake up and take your next breath, it's all vanity. It means nothing. So then I went to pursue medical coding, but sitting behind a screen all day with capped income was not my dream. I tried everything, literally. Everything that the world said would be secure, smart, but nothing gave me the freedom, fulfillment, or financial peace that I was searching for until I discovered the power of digital marketing, automation, and creating my own scalable offers. It wasn't until I locked in the 4 pillars of profit. Now, listen up, this is where it gets good. A high converting course, that's number one, what you need. Number two, you need a consistent lead ecosystem. If leads aren't coming in, you don't have a business. If social media was to shut down, where's your business? Your customers and the people that you are called to serve are the reason that you will be able to be in business. So you need a consistent lead ecosystem so your containers stay full. Then you need number three, an automated sales system. Lastly, magnetic messaging that magnetizes your premium clients to you. Because if you have all three of the things above, but then your messaging is off, you're not going to attract anybody to your great offer, your great course, right? So that's when I went from burnout to 6 figures fast. So, number one, a high converting course. I didn't just take a course, I took a high converting blueprint, locked in like a laser, literally, spoke directly to the hearts of my audience, and turned it into a 6 figure cash machine within months. I didn't have a fancy team. I didn't have a massive following. I literally had 1,200 people that were unengaged, never once ever responding to anything that I was saying, just pure strategy and magnetic messaging that I implemented, and a system that absolutely 100% works. While others were still posting and praying, I built a digital offer that prints daily Stripe notifications. It's not luck, it's leverage. And if I can do it, so can you. Number two, my automated sales system. I plugged in an automated sales system that started closing high ticket clients like clockwork without me lifting a finger, effortlessly. It removed me from my business 80 to 90% of the daily grind, and it gave me something no paycheck ever could. It gave me my life back, you guys. More time with my kid, which even now brings me to tears when I talk about this. Because if you're a mama, if you're a dad, if you're a single parent, if you have kids and you never get to see them because you're constantly clocking in, you're constantly working 2 and 3 jobs, you're constantly struggling paycheck to paycheck, you know the weight, the anxiety, the overwhelm, the gut wrenching feeling of not being able to be present in your kid's life. It gave me my time back, more peace and more freedom. I went from being buried in busy work to waking up to Stripe notifications, fully present with my family and actually living on my terms, in my flow, and in full alignment with the life that I prayed for. Number three, I implemented magnetic messaging. I didn't just take a course, I took a high converting blueprint, locked in like a laser, like I said before, spoke directly to the hearts of my audience, right? And started banking sales like clockwork. Because when you understand magnetic messaging, when you understand what it is that your audience struggles with, when you understand their pain points, you're then able to give them the transformation that they're desperately seeking. That's the key. When it comes to your messaging, if you're just throwing things out that sound good, but you're never nailing the very reason that people are looking for a solution and you're not able to present it through your messaging, you're not going to be able to draw in those premium clients. This is exactly why I'm obsessed with helping powerful women like you break free from the hamster wheel of hustle and stepping into your pivotal moment of change. I remember my moment of change like it was yesterday. And I'm literally so passionate about helping you get to that moment so that your life can be changed as well. Struggling, sacrificing, and suffering is not the price, that you have to pay for success. It's not. I've walked through the fire so that you do not have to. That's the point of people going before you, that go be ahead of you, or that go ahead of you in life, right? You come alongside and partner up with people that have already been through it so that you can eliminate the mistakes, so that you can fast track and get to your destination a lot quicker than what they were able to. Now, I hand you the shortcut, the blueprint, the system, so that you can build your dream life with clarity, confidence, and cash flow without burnout, breakdowns, or playing small ever again. My pain was literally grinding. If you've been grinding for years, but nothing feels sustainable, everything you build relies 100% on your energy, your time, you showing up, your presence. If you stop working, the income stops. You fear that if you get sick or if you burn out or slow down for even a second, everything that you've built will collapse. And that's the problem with these models where you have to show up every single day. Because what happens if you can't show up? And then you're not able to pay your bills because you're not getting paid because you're trading your time for money. I didn't have time, right? Single mama, like I was saying, I had no time to spare. I already wasn't seeing my kid. So, how in the world was I going to make this work? But I understood that I didn't need more time. You need a wealth strategy that gives you your life back, that gives you your time back. This isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about learning how to flip the plate over and start serving yourself. I kept eating my seed. And I want you to hear me when I say this, instead of planting it. You see, God gives us seeds so many times, but a lot of times we eat our seed. Instead of having peanut butter and jelly for a season, we go to the grocery store and we load up. Instead of cooking at home and saving money, we order Uber Eats, we order Instacart, we go out and we spend unnecessary money when we have a seed to plant. That if we would just release what's in our hand, God would be able to release what's in his. But because he keeps giving you seed and you keep eating it, you find yourself in this never ending cycle of lack, this never ending cycle of the harvest never coming. If the farmer never planted the seed, the harvest would never come. Fast fixes you're looking for, empty purchases, distractions disguised as needs, all while praying for a breakthrough. You kept eating your seed, not realizing that it's devouring the very seed meant to deliver you from what you're going through. I was doing that until one day I heard it as clear as day. I already gave you the seed. When will you trust me enough to plant it? That was the shift, because seed doesn't multiply in your hand, it multiplies in the soil. And it's not an issue of you releasing the seed, it's an issue of you trusting God enough to know that when you release that seed, that he has all power in his hand. He holds the world in the palm of his hand, and he can cause favor to you like that. It takes one moment of God's favor to change your entire life around. When will you release the seed? When will you invest in that business? When will you invest in that course? When will you invest in that coach? Then I learned the free formula, FREE, the 4-step breakthrough path to building a profitable course and breaking free. The F stands for face the fear. Acknowledge the limiting belief that's keeping you stuck, that gets you feeling like I'm not ready. I don't have time. What if it doesn't work? The truth, if you're scared, you're standing at the edge of growth, because if you're not scared and you're complacent, then you're literally actually in a very place that's holding you back. You need to step out and challenge yourself. You see, you can't grow when you're in a place of complacency. You can't grow when you never expose yourself to new environments, to new things. The R in free stands for rewire your mindset. Replace doubt with the data. Data speaks. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It doesn't matter what your emotions are saying. Data is what matters. You don't need thousands of followers, a fancy setup, or a perfect niche like all of the gurus preach. You need a system and a belief in your story, your results, and your ability to help and serve someone else. The E stands for execute the plan. See, inside Cash Course Creator that I created, I'm handing you the exact plug and play blueprint plus course clarity. I'm showing you magnetic messaging that we talked about, pre-selling your strategies, and automations plus systems that do all of the heavy lifting for you. It's the whole entire package. No gatekeeping, no needing you to come back for more upgrades or downgrades or whatever else they try to teach you out there. It's the whole package. The last E in the free formula is embrace the freedom. You've now done facing the fear. You've now rewired your mindset. You've now executed the plan that I've given you. Now it's time to embrace the freedom. This is where everything changes. You finally launch, come on, sell and scale without burnout, without confusion, and without waiting for the famous word of someday. Success leaves clues. From crickets to cash, this client right here launched her first course and made $3,000 within 72 hours with less than 500 followers. This client in the middle went from burnout to banked. One client replaced her 9-to-5 income in 30 days using the course plus automation system inside Cash Course Creator. The last client there you see went from being stuck to literally sold out. One client pre-sold her digital course before it was even built and had 18 buyers before her first module even dropped. And that's what I teach you to do, is pre-sell before you even start building. Now, let's talk about the mistakes. Specifically, the 3 top mistakes that keep you stuck and why it keeps you stuck. Mistake number 1, because you've implemented, or, there's many business models out there, right? The wrong business model will have you exchanging your time for money, which is the whole reason why you got into entrepreneurship in the first place, was to get your time back, was to live life on your terms, right? So mistake number 1 is picking the wrong business model. Most people don't realize it, but the reason that they're burnt out, underpaid, and overwhelmed isn't because they're not trying hard enough. It's because they chose the wrong business model from the very beginning. They created a business that requires them to show up every single day to make money. It's just like a 9-to-5. They're trading their time for dollars, relying on one-on-one services, low ticket chaos, or physical products with razor thin margins. They've built a business that looks like freedom, but feels like another 9-to-5 in disguise. Why does this happen? Because nobody taught them the difference between revenue and real wealth. because they believed that the only way to grow was to grind, because they followed the wrong blueprint from someone who isn't living life that they actually want. They didn't know that the most powerful business models are automated, scalable, built on digital offers and systems that sell. The right business model prints cash even when you're offline with your family, on vacation, or if you're literally sleeping, it continues to work for you 24/7. Now, when does this happen? This mistake happens at the very beginning when you're deciding what to sell and how to deliver it. That's when you have to watch the business model that you're choosing. Most people, they rush to launch anything without thinking about whether it's going to support their lifestyle goals, time, freedom, or even your income potential, right? And then by the time that they realize they're exhausted, they're capped out, deep in the grind with no plan to scale or even no way to get out. The truth is, you don't need to hustle harder. You need a business model that's designed to multiply without multiplying your workload. That's exactly what I teach inside Cash Course Creator, how to stop building a job and start building a wealth machine. We don't want to keep trading time for money. What happens if you continue making this mistake? You're going to stay on the hustle hamster wheel, trading hours for dollars, constantly creating content, launching without results, and wondering why it still feels like you're stuck in that 9 to 5, except now you're your own boss and you've created your own burnout. You'll leave thousands, if not millions, on the table. You'll watch others scale with systems while you stay trapped in the feast or famine cycle, missing out on the income and the impact that was always meant for you. Time will pass and nothing will change. Another month, another year, still stuck, still stressed, still wondering when it's going to finally be your turn. You'll keep seeing people with less experience make more money. And that's so true. I see people all the time, teenagers crushing it online because they're following a system, while others that have worked literally 20 and 30 years in the work field, because they're set in their ways and they're stubborn and they don't want to invest in something else, stay stuck. Let that not be you, because they stopped guessing. They followed a proven framework that made the leap before they felt ready. You don't have to feel ready. That's only a feeling. Now, what happens when you stop making this mistake? You literally launch once and sell forever, over and over again. Your course becomes your digital asset. You stop trading your hours for dollars, and your intellectual property starts working harder than you ever did on autopilot. Think for a moment. Creating something one time and selling it over and over again on autopilot. You did the work one time, but yet you're getting paid for life on it. That will never happen in a 9 to 5. That will never happen with physical products. That will never happen out there in the work field. You'll wake up to Stripe notifications daily, not from chasing clients, not from cold DMs. We all hate cold DMs, but from a system that attracts, nurtures, and converts leads for you 24/7. You'll get your time back. No more burnout, no more sacrificing memories for money. You scale while being present with your family, when you're present with your kids, and while you're walking in your purpose. Money is still coming in. Sales are still flowing. That autopilot system is still working harder for you than you ever had to work for yourself. You stop surviving and you start stepping into your legacy, because you finally built a business that supports your calling, fuels your freedom, and grows with you. Listen, Jasmine found success. She went from stuck and struggling to scaling like a queen. When Jasmine first started, she was drowning. She was a single mom. She had 2 jobs. She was running on empty, and still she couldn't break past that $2,000 a month. She had the hustle, she had the heart, but she was stuck in the wrong business model, selling low ticket offers, trying to do everything manually and hoping her next post would bring in a miracle. That's what I call posting and praying. She was on the verge of giving up. Her words were, I don't need millions. I just want to breathe. How many of us have been in that place? You just want to breathe. She said, I want to be present for my daughter without constantly worrying about money. The anxiety, the weight of the struggle was getting to her. That's heartbreaking. When you think about it, she just needed a new model. That's all she needed. So she started implementing, stopped chasing leads, stopped launching random offers, and finally built a high converting course with a magnetic message and an automated sales system that did the heavy lifting for her. In 60 days, her course made $12,000. She was able to quit her second job. She started picking her daughter up from school every single day, sent a voice note crying the first time she woke up to 4 Stripe payout notifications during breakfast. Her life is now unrecognizable. She's not just making money, she's literally birthing a legacy. She's not creating content, she's creating impact, and she's no longer surviving, but she's thriving. Now, let's talk about mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 is choosing hustling over strategy, guidance, and freedom. If you're like me, you know how to hustle. I've literally hustled my entire life. Always had a hustle, always had a side job, always had some way I was pulling in money some kind of way, but I was trading my time for money. It was horrible. So, what's the mistake here? It's the trap of believing that working harder is going to get you farther. Yes, working hard is great, but you don't see the millionaires and the billionaires out here shoveling concrete. That's hard work. They work smarter and they allow the systems to multiply their money and do the heavy lifting for them. You see, you keep posting, promoting, you're tweaking offers, staying up late, trying to figure it out on your own, hoping that if you just grind long enough, that the breakthrough will come. I know I was there. But instead of building momentum, you're actually creating burnout. Why is this keeping you broke? Because hustle without strategy isn't guidance. It's not progress. There's no movement to it. It's a whole lot of busy work and it keeps you needing to do the same thing over and over. Hustle, 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 right? Every minute spent trying things without guidance is costing you sales, peace, and time that you'll never get back. You're busy, but not profitable. And deep down, you know it. You're doing all the things, yet still not seeing the money or freedom that you desire. The truth is, clarity literally collapses time. Strategy creates results. Now, when does this show up? When when you're constantly creating content, but not converting is when it shows up. When your income resets to zero every month, no recurring income, right? And you're stuck in survival mode. When you're afraid to invest in help, so your do it yourself everything strategies, and you continue to stay stuck. What happens if you continue making this mistake? You're going to stay stuck in survival mode, waking up every morning already behind, chasing bills, chasing clients, chasing hope. Your dreams start collecting dust on the shelf. The course you wanted to create, the business you said you'd build, the freedom you swore you'd claim, they fade into maybe someday. You literally watch others win while wondering, why hasn't it happened for you? You see the strangers online scaling to 10, 50, even 100K months while you're still juggling multiple jobs, drowning in burnout, and trying to convince yourself that you're grateful, all while missing all the moments with your family, all while never having a spa day, all while constantly hustling and grinding and feeling burnt out. You keep missing your life because your kids' moments, missing peace, missing purpose, missing working 10 times harder for a fraction of the results while your family needs you. And the worst part, you then begin to question yourself. Now, what happens when you stop making that mistake? Everything changes, and it changes fast. You wake up in peace, not panic. Your mornings start with purpose, not pressure. You're no longer hustling for crumbs. You're collecting Stripe notifications before your coffee even hits the cup first thing in the morning. Instead of trading time for money, you build systems that pay you daily, even while you sleep. If you're traveling, if you're taking your kids to the beach in the middle of the week, those payments are still coming. You stop building someone else's dream and you start building your legacy. You finally have a brand that reflects your brilliance, that you're passionate about, a business model built for freedom, and a strategy that stacks wealth, not just income. You don't hope for clients anymore, you attract them. The right ones, the ones who pay in full, sales on repeat, and they say that they've been waiting for you because you're attracting the right ones, the ones that God has preordained and orchestrated for you to impact. You walk differently because now you know what it feels like to have the alignment with your calling and not your conditioning. And the best part, you finally have time. Time to live, time to give, time to be present with the people you absolutely adore and love without the guilt, without the burnout, without looking at your bank account like it's your enemy. This isn't just a business glow up, it's a transformation, and the transformation that you've been praying for. This success story is Rachel, single mama too, working 10-hour shifts as a nurse, barely scraping by and pouring everything she had into everyone else but herself. She used to cry in her car during lunch breaks, not because she wasn't grateful, but because deep down she knew she was made for more. So many people feel this way. I know you do. I did. She was exhausted, drowning in bills, even though her salary was big, missing her baby's milestones just to make ends meet. But she didn't have a choice. She'd seen people talking about online business and digital income, but to her, it felt impossible. She felt like she wasn't tech savvy. She didn't have a big audience. She didn't even have time to breathe. She was just like me. But one day, Rachel said something changed, and it changed everything. She said, if I don't try something different and try it now, I'll be in the same exact spot next year. That was her moment of change. She jumped in and she watched the trainings late at night after putting her babies to bed. She followed the steps. She probably put 1 or 2 hours in a day. She posted scared. She launched her first course scared. But the result, her first $1,000 week, her first $5,000 month, and her first $20,000 in digital income without ever going live, without ever working around the clock, without leaving her home. And the real win, she was able to start getting her kids from school. She was able to get rid of the credit card debt that literally was haunting her. And she finally was able to feel like the woman of God that God created her to be. She felt powerful, purposeful, and literally started feeling free. And it didn't come from just money. She didn't have special connections. All she did was say yes when the opportunity came and followed the blueprint. Now she teaches from her overflow. Now she mentors other women. Now she's the one that looks to others and says, if she can do it, that so can they. Literally, you're one decision away from your Rachel moment. Let's talk about mistake number 3, not investing into a course that's going to shortcut your failure. If what you were doing was already working, you wouldn't be watching this video. What happens when you don't invest into a proven method? This mistake shows up when you try to piecemeal together a business from YouTube videos, free PDFs, and guesswork. All of the freebies that you've collected, all of the things that you're getting from every YouTuber, from every content creator, trying to piecemeal it all together, but you have all these different voices and all these different strategies, and it's getting you nowhere. You think you're saving money by figuring it out on your own, but what you're really doing is costing yourself time, clarity, and thousands of dollars in missed revenue. The tens of thousands of dollars wasted and missed because the inability to invest into something that's already proven. This happens because deep down you're afraid. You're afraid to invest in yourself, whether you've done it in the past and you don't want to do it again, or you're just afraid it won't work, or afraid that you'll fail. But here's the truth. Not investing is what's keeping you stuck. Every successful entrepreneur that you see made one decision. You just have to make it. They stopped guessing and started following a proven system. Where does this happen? It happens where you let fear lead you instead of faith. Fear tolerated is faith contaminated. The moment you say, I'll wait until I make more money, instead of realizing this is the very thing that will help you make more money, and that statement that's holding you back, saying you're waiting for more money to come, is the very reason you're in the position you are right now, not taking action. It's the delay that keeps you in the same cycle, stuck, second guessing, and spinning your wheels. Reality check. The longer you wait to invest in a system that's step by step, it's literally your roadmap, the longer you'll delay your freedom. While others are scaling, you're still Googling how to start an online business at 2 a.m. Courses don't cost you. They save you from wasted time, wasted energy, and wasted opportunities that money could have already been flowing to you. If you want a 6-figure result, you can't build it on a $0 foundation of random freebies and random advice. It costs to be successful. Whatever you do in life, it's going to cost you something, either time, a whole lot of time, and then missed opportunities where money could have already been flowing, or it's going to cost you $1. It's going to cost you an investment. You need the blueprint, the support, the shortcuts from someone who's already done it. And that's what changes everything. What happens if you keep making this mistake? You're going to stay stuck in survival mode. Month after month, you grind harder with little to no results. Your income is inconsistent. Your confidence takes a hit after a hit, and that dream life you know that you're meant for, it starts to feel like it's slipping away and out of reach. You keep bleeding time and money. You try to figure it out alone. You waste hours creating content that doesn't convert, building funnels that don't sell, and launching offers that do not land. You watch sales pass you by every single day, not because you're not good enough, but because you're doing it without the right system. You watch others win and wonder why it's not you. You see, people with less experience, smaller audience, and less hustle, scaling to 10, 50, and 100K months, and you wonder why this has not happened for me yet. It's not that you're not qualified, it's because you're still trying to guess your way to the goal instead of getting the roadmap. You waste the most valuable thing that you have, your time. Every day you wait is a day you could have been building, could have been making sales, could have been impacting. Every excuse becomes another delay, and eventually, time will run out. Regret will set in, and you realize the cost of waiting was higher than the price of taking action and investing in that course. The truth is simple. If you don't change anything, nothing changes. And that one day you keep hoping for, it never comes unless you decide that it comes today. You might have already invested into courses. You might have already invested into coaches, but that doesn't matter. All of that experience will serve you in your future. I guarantee it. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching. I spent $20,000 on marketing to learn it myself. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in paid advertising to acquire the skills to where I'm at right now so that you don't have to. What's going to happen when you stop making this mistake? Here's what happens when you stop making the mistakes and finally step in to the power, profit, and purpose that you were created for. You move from confusion to clarity, no more second guessing your every move. You know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and your steps become strategic. Your business becomes simple, and you finally have a blueprint and it works. Sales become consistent and effortless, and instead of waking up stressed, you wake up to Stripe notifications on repeat. Your systems are running, your offer is converting, your audience is growing, and you're not chasing sales anymore. Sales come to you. You step into CEO energy. You're no longer operating like a burned out employee in your own business. You're making decisions like a 6 and 7 figure business owner. You delegate, you automate, you create more income and more freedom. And guess what? It's on your terms. You scale with confidence and you're no longer afraid to launch, sell, or show up. You know your offer changes lives. You know your content converts. You know your business is built on a rock solid foundation. And now you're ready to grow without limits. You finally feel proud. Proud of the woman that you become, proud of the income that you're earning, proud of the life that you've created for you and your kids and your family and your future self. You're not just making money, but you're building that empire that you so desire and burn for. And that's what happens when you stop playing small and start playing to win. Meet Crystal. She's a single mom of 2 from Georgia who was working 12-hour shifts and going to school to be a nurse, barely making ends meet and constantly sacrificing time with their kids just to survive. I want you to hear the consistency in people's stories. It's all the same thing. She tried side hustles, she tried MLMs, drop shipping, she even tried to start a YouTube channel, but nothing ever stuck. She was defeated, exhausted, questioned if she'd ever even be able to break free from the cycle of burnout. Imagine working 12-hour days and still struggling to make ends meet. Then she got the courage to say again, just like all the others, enough is enough. And she started. At first, she doubted herself, and she thought to herself that she didn't have the computer skills. She didn't have anybody that was following her because she wasn't big in social media, right? But she didn't let that stop her. She started her course anyways. She chose her niche based on some life experiences that she already had lived through. She used the plug and play course the templates to build her program in literally a weekend. And she implemented the AI powered funnel system, magnetic messaging, and royal revenue sales strategies that are all inside Cash Course Creator. The result is crazy. In 30 days, Crystal made her first $10,000. And in 90 days, she hit consistent $20,000 months. Within 6 months, she was able to walk away from that nursing job to run her business full time on her terms. Now she only works a few hours a day. She runs her business from her phone, and she takes her kids to school and on many vacations, and she's able to be with their family present every single day. She's living the life that she prayed for. Now, at this point, you're probably asking yourself, okay, Coach Stephanie, I know what I need to stop doing. You've covered that. But what do I need to do instead? What's the answer? There's a 3-step cash flow course creator formula that I base the entire course on. Plan, package, profit. I make it as simple as possible. The 3-step bank building blueprint for moms, mission driven women to make life changing money, but on autopilot, without hustling, without burnout, or missing the moments that matter the most. I'm about to share the same framework that myself and all those other clients that you heard from have used to stack cash while living the soft life. Plan, package, profit. So when you're in planet mode, you're clarifying your niche, audience, and you're doing your irresistible offer, which is a step-by-step process where you have all of the templates, all of the guided success sheets. Everything you need is inside the course, walking you from step to step. The course literally handholds you the whole way through. This is where we turn your knowledge into a cash printing blueprint. So why is it important to plan it? Because planning is the bridge between where you are now and the results that you crave, that you so desire. Without a clear plan, you're not building a business, you're playing a guessing game with your future. Here's why planning is a non negotiable if you really want a real, bankable business that gets results. Clarity creates cash. When you know what you're selling, and who you're selling it to, your audience, and how you're going to show up, it's no longer a hustle, it's a strategy. Planning gives you clarity, and clarity converts. Results don't come from chaos. Winging it will keep you broke, burned out, and stuck in the content hamster wheel. A well laid out plan helps you focus on the right tasks that move the needle, not just the ones that keep you busy. $1,000,000 results require $1,000,000 moves. So when you start planning, you're not here to dabble. You're here to dominate, and domination comes from direction, planning. The most successful course creators and digital CEOs plan their offer stack, their launch dates, their content strategy, and their sales systems, because they know that every piece plays a role in the bigger picture. Same thing with our body. Every part of our body plays a specific role. And if one part of our body is messed up, it throws off the rest of the body, right? Same thing in your business. When you plan monetization with intention, you stop hoping for income and start creating predictable, repeatable, scalable cash flow. So your offers don't just sell, they stack. When you plan your offer suite, you're no longer launching one random product at a time, but you're building an ecosystem where every offer leads to the next. Low ticket to mid ticket to high ticket to then recurring revenue. So one sale turns into 5, and one buyer becomes a lifelong client. You stop making emotional decisions and start making CEO moves. When you're not making money, your decisions get reactive. You start slashing prices, you launch out of panic, and you post from pressure. But when you plan your monetization strategy, you're building a business, not a hope and pray hustle. You literally reclaim your time when your content is strategic and when your funnel is automated. When your emails sell for you, you don't need to be online 24/7 because you've planned for the money to come even when you're offline. Most people won't do it though, not because they're not capable, but because they've been conditioned to stay stuck in survival mode. Here's the real truth: most people have worn the hard work as a badge of honor their entire life. They believe success has to be earned through suffering, burnout, and exhaustion. That's so not true. So when something comes along that seems a little bit easier, that offers automations or alignment, they don't trust it. Their flags go up. They'd rather stay in the grind that they know. There's that complacency we talked about, than step into the freedom that they've never experienced. They let fear outweigh faith. They tell themselves, what if I fail? That's fear tolerated. What if no one buys? Fear tolerated. What if it doesn't work for me? Fear tolerated. You're no longer in the realm of faith. So instead of risking disappointment, they settle, they stall, they scroll past their next level and call it waiting on God, when God already gave them the seed. He already gave you the destiny helper. It's right in front of you. All you have to do is take action. They don't believe it can be this simple. We've been taught, and this is the problem, that success comes after decades of hustle. So when you show someone a plug and play system that actually works, they hesitate, because if it were this simple, why aren't more people doing it? The answer: because most people won't believe it until someone else does it first. You need to be the one that sets the standard. Meet Janelle. Sleepless nights to sales in her sleep. She's a single mom who almost gave up on the idea that life could be differently. She was working multiple jobs, getting a few hours of sleep a night, barely making enough to pay rent, and let alone, here again, barely spending any time with her kids. Every night she'd scroll through her phone like we all did, watching other women talk about making 10, 20, even 50K months selling digital products. She thought that could never be me. But then one night she was crying out to God. Her eyes filled up with tears. There was an aching in her soul. And she asked God, I need a way out. And then she came across Course Creation. She didn't know how to do it, but she knew in her spirit that this is it. So she borrowed the money. She said yes, scared, and decided her someday started right now. 30 days later, she launched her first digital course with less than 200 followers, and she made her first $2,500 in 1 week. She then automated her sales system, and now she's making more money in her sleep than she did at her 9 to 5. Now she gets to be with her kids, and when they ask, is she coming to their game, she's able to tell them yes in confidence. And now she's not surviving, she's helping other moms break free with making just one decision as well. The second part is package. This is where you create and automate a high converting course and pair it with that sales system. This is where your expertise becomes a digital product that prints income on autopilot. Even if you don't know what that expertise is going to be, there's always something that you can create, whether it's recipes, a cooking book, a health guide, whatever it is, something in sports, something you do well at home, something you do well with your kids. There's always a course that you can create that will help thousands and tens of thousands of other women or men out there, right? So if your course isn't packaged properly, though, and automated to convert, you'll leave thousands, if not millions, on the table. And that's why it's important to package it properly. Here's why step two, create and automate a high converting course and sales system, is a non negotiable, because packaging equals perceived value. You could be sitting on a life dream and clients will scroll right past it. Why? Because the right structure, messaging, and delivery instantly turns your knowledge into a premium product. But if it's not packaged properly, they'll scroll right past it. It doesn't matter how amazing it is. Automation is what frees you. You didn't start this to be tied to your laptop 24/7. You need funnels, emails, and DMs doing the heavy lifting so that you can step back and let your systems do the selling day and night. And when you think about funnels, it's not as hard as you think. Inside of this course, inside of Cash Course Create, or excuse me, inside of Cash Course Creator, I give you all of the templates, all of the websites, all of the done for you tech. All you do is upload it to your system. And now stacking your offers becomes stacking cash, right? When you structure your course to naturally ascend buyers into your next offer, you're no longer chasing new clients. You're creating a pipeline of repeat revenue that grows every single month. So this is the moment where your course stops being a project and starts bringing in insane cash, and it becomes a cash printing asset. You're not just building a product. You're not just building a course. You're literally building a brand empire that's going to run itself. Then you stop begging people to buy and start attracting premium buyers who then DM you saying, I'm in, where do I pay in full? You no longer wake up stressed about how to make money because Stripe notifications are hitting your bank account as you sleep. You stop trading your time for dollars and start watching your content, your course, and automations do the work 24/7. Now you get to step into that CEO role with a system that nurtures leads, sells for you, and upgrades your clients on autopilot, where every offer is the next logical step. It's a no-brainer for them. You gain back your time so you can show up as the mom, as the spouse, as the woman that you've always wanted to be without sacrificing your income. And this is when that course becomes a cash generating machine and not just another idea collecting dust from a Google Doc. It's the moment your business scales and predictable income comes on autopilot. This is the move that separates hustlers from high income earners. This is where you stop hustling and you become a high income earner. So what holds a lot of people back is they're paralyzed by perfection. They overthink every single step, thinking it needs to be perfect, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect niche, the perfect offer. But perfection is a mask for fear. And while they wait, someone else launches messy and makes bank. Because after they launch, even if they launch it their first time and it's not perfect, they can continue to tweak it later on, but at least they got the rock rolling, right? It's easier to gain momentum when that bulldozer is moving constantly, right? But if it's standing at a standstill, it's harder to push it and get any kind of momentum. You have to keep moving. Now, success doesn't come to the most prepared. It comes to the most courageous, right? They don't believe that they're an expert enough. They think that they need a massive audience, a degree, 10 years of experience to teach something. But here's the truth. You only need to be a few steps ahead of the person that you're helping. People are paying for shortcuts, not status. Your lived experience is more valuable than a textbook. They're stuck in hustle mode. They think more work equals more money, so they keep grinding, chasing clients, and burning out, never realizing that freedom comes from systems and not from struggling. You're not building struggle. You're building a brand. You're building systems. You're building what needs to be put in place one time so that you can continue to get those payouts for the rest of your future. The truth is that anyone can do this, but only the ones willing to ditch their fear and ditch their imperfections and actually start are going to be the ones that see this insane results. Roxanne was a single mom, 60 hours a week, working corporate sales, barely making ends meet because she had all of the pressure and all the responsibilities of taking care of those babies and kids. They are expensive, right? She knew deep down that there was more for her. She said to herself, I have so much to give, but how? Years of experience helping small businesses grow, but zero clue how to turn that into a course. So she knew she wasn't techie. She knew she didn't have an audience like all of the other people. She didn't even know where to start. But what she did know is that when she said yes and created her course, instead of waiting for permission or clarity, she followed the system. She packaged her zone of genius into a simple, scalable course. She plugged it into the automated sales system, and within 30 days, made her first $2,500 in a day. But it didn't stop there. By month 3, she had done over $42,000 in course sales while still working full time. She literally cried on a coaching call when she realized that she finally had options to leave her job, options to be present with her kids, options to build wealth her way, all because she packaged her brilliance and put it into a course and allowed the systems to do the selling for her. She took action. Profit time. Launch, scale, and sell out your course with magnetic marketing. This is what we've all been waiting for, right? This is where you start stacking 10, 20, and 50K months on repeat. This is where your course stops being a project and starts becoming a profit producing machine. Most people stop short right here. They build the thing, but they never learn how to market it. They get stuck tweaking their course forever instead of putting it in front of the buyers who are already looking for it. You guys, you have the solution. All you need to do is create it and present it, right? Here's why this step is so crucial, because you can have the best course in the world, but if nobody knows that it exists, you'll make zero sales, right? So you don't need a huge audience. You just need the right messaging, the right launch plan, and the right strategy. And you're not here for a one-time payday. You're here to stack income on repeat with systems that do the selling for you. And I literally teach you an evergreen model that continues to pull in sales on autopilot. When you learn to market with magnetism, you attract high caliber buyers, premium clients, and consistent cash flow. Inside Cash Course Creator, you're getting every playbook, every script, and every strategy I use to sell out my offers and to scale to 10, 50, and even 100K months, because launching your course isn't the finish line. It's literally the starting line to financial freedom. When you finally step into profit zone, everything changes. Your course stops collecting dust and starts printing sales. You wake up to Stripe notifications on your phone, which are the cha-chings, right? When you launch with the right message, you no longer wonder, is this going to work? Because now the system is working for you, right? So buyers, they're not going to hesitate. They literally will buy. Sales become consistent. You're not just a lucky spike, right? It's not just a lucky spike of sales. And you stop chasing clients and you start attracting aligned clients, ready to invest humans who see your course as the only option, right? This is the difference between making a few $100s here and there and stacking 10K months without burning out, posting all day, or relying on showing up on social media, right? This is when your course becomes your cash machine. When your impact starts multiplying, this is when your business finally becomes your new normal. When you master scaling and selling with a strategy paired with the sales system, you don't just make a sale, you literally create a movement where sales come in consistently. So, why most people hold themselves back from doing it is because of past failures, right? Maybe they're haunted by every almost and not yet, drowning in responsibility, guilt, the fear that maybe this is as good as it gets, right? Most people will keep waking up to an alarm clock that drags them into a life that feels numb. They'll keep missing milestones and memories, sitting in traffic, working for a paycheck that barely covers what they need, let alone what they dream of. They convince themselves that it's too late to start over, that it's too late for them to make a change, or that it's too late to chase the whisper in their spirit that says that there's more for them. But you're not like most people, because deep down, you're suffocating in the box that they told you that you need to stay in. You're tired of breaking yourself to build someone else's dream, and you're tired of clapping for others while wondering, when is it going to be my turn? And more than anything, you're tired of hiding the fire that God put on the inside of you. You know you were made for impact. You know your voice matters and carries weight, it carries influence. And you know that you've been called to lead and not from the back row. While most people will settle for someday, you're making a decision today to be the change, to stop waiting for permission, to take the seed of potential and to plant it where it can grow. Most people, they try to be a cycle breaker, but they fall back into the same things that they were doing before. But you're the builder, you're the legacy. This is your moment. Let's write the story that one day will tell about you. Nia, single mom of two, working late nights as a waitress, barely scraping by and watching every opportunity pass her by while she served others, living the life that she dreamed of. She would see doctors come in, lawyers come in, all these successful people, I remember. And she would literally think to herself, why is that not me, right? She had wisdom, passion, and a powerful message rooted in her story. But every time she thought about launching something of her own, she froze. Who would want to listen to me? I've tried before and nothing stuck. So she tried to launch and then she stopped, almost believing, but something shifted. And that day that she felt like enough was enough, she took the leap of faith and started her course. She followed the launch playbook. She used the exact sales scripts from the program, and she packaged her story and skills into the course designed for transformation, not just for information. She stopped scrolling, you guys. She stopped watching every influencer, and she finally made the decision that night that today she was making a change, and she went all in. She didn't have a fancy studio. She didn't have a team. She didn't even have a website when she started, but she had a story, a system, and the courage to show up even when she was scared. And on her first launch, $17,000, $17,200. Her second launch, she hit $37,000. And within 90 days, she literally walked away from her full-time job and she was able to start living life on her terms. Now, her content magnetizes her dream clients and her emails convert like wildfire because she didn't just launch a product, she literally launched the story that was on the inside of her. So here's what we've learned so far. The top 3 mistakes, which is number 1, the wrong business model, exchanging time for money. 2, choosing hustling over strategy and guidance and freedom, right? And 3, not investing into a course that will shortcut your failure. Then we learned what to do instead with the plan, right? You're going to plan, package, and profit. That's the 3-step method. Plan, package, profit. Why you don't need a big audience, lots of time, or experience to be successful. But you're here today because more income without working more hours is what you absolutely long for. You want to leave your 9 to 5, but you don't want to risk your family's stability. I get it. I was the same way. Single mom, I couldn't afford to risk it, but I had to do something, right? A business that runs on autopilot without constant hustle or pressure. That's what we're talking about. Escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle without taking on more work. Replace your full-time income without trading time for money and make a bigger impact without burning out in the process. If you felt like you were made for more but stuck in survival mode, you're ready to finally build something of your own that creates freedom. You felt like you're working nonstop and still barely scraping by, and you're ready to wake up to Stripe notifications instead of rushing, instead of stress, instead of anxiety, instead of heading to the job and waiting in that traffic. You're ready to be able to live life on your terms, right? You felt like God gave you gifts, but you're not using them. And now you're ready to walk boldly into the purpose and profits that He's prepared you for. Today is the day. Nothing that I've shared with you today is impossible. These are the things that I do, that my clients do and have done to achieve a life that's built on our terms. We don't have to submit to a 9 to 5 boss, right? We live life on our terms. We wake up when we want to wake up. We go where we want to go. We don't have to check our bank accounts. They didn't have any advantages or special skills. They just have a system that works. And if they can do this, you can too. That's why you have 2 options. Option number 1, you can keep playing small, scrambling for free advice like you've been doing, piecing together half-baked strategies because they never give you the full strategy, and wondering why nothing's working. You keep watching for the right time that never comes. Or worse, you can keep spending the seed that was meant to multiply, that was meant to plant, that was meant to get the harvest. The truth, wealth doesn't come to those who hesitate. It comes to those who plant with purpose, move with power, and execute like their future depends on it, because it does. Or option number 2, fast track your results with my simple 3-step framework: plan, package, and profit. Introducing Cash Course Creator. Launch it, sell it, scale it. Inside of the course, you're going to receive CEO Cash Course Curriculum. It's a $4,997 value. It gives you the entire curriculum for the whole entire course from A to Z, from inception to launching to profits. I then go on and give you Cash Course Community. It's a community of people that are networking, like-minded, that are all coming together for the same purpose, that you can network with, that you can talk to, questions, you can get answers, right? That's valued at $2,997. That's going to be included in the course today. You then have the Launch Ready Web Kit. The Launch Ready website, the Launch Ready Web Kit comes with all of your templates for your website, literally plug and play. All you do is upload it to your computer and put your information in. It's all of your plug and play done for you templates, right? That's valued at $2,997. I'm giving that to you today, included in the course. I then went on and included the Plug and Profit emails. These are email templates that are proven to convert time and time again, already written for you, plug and play, valued at $997. That's going to be included today, right? I then went on and included the Cash Course Companion. These are CEO success sheets. They're guided worksheets that will literally handhold you and take you from step to step to step, right? Then that's valued at $1,497 included today. Then you have the Visibility Vault. This is an absolutely insane value where you get all of the teaching for TikTok, you get all of the teaching for Facebook, and it shows you exactly what you need to know to have your offers pre-sold and sold out. This is valued at $3,997 that I'm including in the kit today. You then have the 5-figure launch lab. If you want to do live launches, this is going to take you step by step to make sure that you're going to have a successful live launch. Or you can do the evergreen model, right? You don't have to do live launches, but if that's something that you want to do, if you want cash injections into your business, that's what you're going to learn from, is the 5-figure launch lab. That's valued at $1,497 that I'm including in the program as well. You then have the Evergreen Sales Machine, which is an evergreen webinar like the one that you're watching now. I include that into the program where it gives you all of the templates, all of the guides, every single step that you need to put together the best webinar for your brand, your voice, that's going to get the audience to know, like, and trust you. That's valued at $2,997. It also comes with the sales system, the Royal Revenue sales system included in there. So when you pair the two together, you have an explosion of blueprints that are solid and proven to work every single time. You then have the niche navigation guide that's going to help you pick your niche, brainstorm. It's going to pull out of you the idea that's been on the inside of you, locked in, and it's going to guide you to what niche is going to work properly for you. That's valued at $1,197, and it's included in the course. You then have the Cash Clock Method, which is a schedule planner that's going to help you maximize your high income earning skills and keep you on track to make sure that you're hitting every single step and you're not missing a beat. That's valued at $497. It's going to keep you on track and keep you successful. And I've included that in the program today. You also have the plug and play tech packs. If you're not tech savvy, you don't know how to deal with tech, you don't have to. I've literally included all of the plug and play templates for your website, for your registration page, for your funnels, for everything. All you have to do is upload it to your computer and it goes right into your system. That's $1,997 that it's valued at, and it's included in the program today. Lastly, if that wasn't already over the top enough, right? I went ahead and included Offers to Millions. Offers to Millions is really near and dear to my heart because it helps you maximize your profit. It shows you how to stack your offers. If you have more than one offer that you want to be able to offer, but you don't want to have to be selling it on social media or confusing your audience, it shows you how to stack your offers so that your clients naturally ascend into the next levels, and it's the logical next step. And I show you how to do that inside of Offers to Millions. That is valued at $1,497. You guys, that's a total value of 12 systems that's included, every single thing that you need. Not one thing is left out of this program from inception to launch to profit for $27,000, 164. That's what it's valued at, right? What you're going to achieve with Cash Course Creator is creating a digital course that sells while you sleep. No fluff, no guesswork. You'll plug your brilliance into our proven framework and finally turn your knowledge into a scalable digital product that generates passive income for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll be able to launch with confidence, even if you have zero audience. And we're going to show you how to build buzz, position your offer, and sell it before it's even finished. You'll learn how to validate your offer and profit from it without burning out or second guessing yourself. You're going to learn how to automate your sales system like a CEO. It's super simple. Set up your funnels by just uploading them into your system, email sequences, AI-powered marketing, so your course keeps selling, whether you're working, resting, or living your best life with your family, even if you're not tech savvy, with our plug and play system. This is where you'll step into your CEO energy and build a business that prints cash. This isn't about working more. Remember, it's about working smarter. You'll learn how to scale your impact, multiply your income, and finally live life on your terms. By the time you're done, you'll have a high converting digital course. You'll have a sales system that runs with or without you, and the mindset of $1 million brand. You'll have the freedom to make money anytime from anywhere. You won't just learn how to sell it, but you'll be a woman who sells with ease, scales with intention, and builds a brand that actually lasts. Angela, she was a divorced mom of 3. Later in her life, right? She wasn't very young. She had worked probably 20 years at the same job, double shifts. She then went on to be a waitress, burned out, behind on bills, and barely scraping by. Every day, she smiled through the pain at work. She poured coffee with aching feet and came home too tired to help her kids with homework. And I want you to hear this because she gave 20 years to one of her jobs that let her go just because they were eliminating the department. So she then went to have to get a job as a waitress, right? After she had already dedicated 20 years to that business. She knew that she needed to make a change, but she didn't have tech skills. She didn't have business experience. She didn't even have a laptop at that point. She only had her phone. But what she did have is she had faith and a deep knowing that something had to change. So when she came across the course creation program, she felt a nudge, right? She knew that she had no idea what she was doing. It terrified her, but she took the leap of faith anyways, and she started her course. You guys, in 90 days, Angela made $42,000 launching her digital course that she built using the templates and the systems that are inside of the program. She didn't do any paid ads, no big audience, no tech background. She fit it in to the nooks and crannies of her day during nap time, during dinner time, between tables, and she built a business that now gives her time freedom. She has consistent income, the ability to finally breathe again, and her babies are no longer watching her cry in the bathroom because the rent is due. They're literally by her side as she spends time with them, and they're living life on her terms. What you're going to do is step one, create, automate, and profit. The exact 3-step method that I teach you that's designed to take you from idea to income with a high converting digital course, even if you're starting from scratch. So in the creation mode, you'll turn your knowledge into cash. You'll identify your profitable niche and course idea, even if you feel like everyone else is doing it, right? Build a value packed course that solves a real problem and learn how to package your expertise into a premium offer that people actually want to buy. Then create, automate, profit formula. Step two is the automation process, building your scalable sales system. Plug your course into our proven templates and frameworks. You'll set up your sales system in this step. You'll set up your email automations, DMs using AI, no tech overwhelm whatsoever, and your content systems and automations will do the heavy lifting for you. In the last step, profit, you'll launch and scale like a CEO. Magnetic messaging, launch strategies to sell out your offer. You'll stack income through upsells, bundles, and passive traffic systems. Learn how to scale consistent 5, 10, even 50K months on autopilot. So you might be asking yourself who this program actually works for, right? You're a total beginner with zero tech skills, but you have a deep desire to create income online, then this is for you. You want to live life on your terms, no matter if you're a male or female, this is for you. You're results driven, coachable, committed to finally building a business that prints cash without burning out or posting 24/7, then this is for you. If you're a coach, if you're ready to launch, automate, and scale, or a service provider, a digital course that sells itself while you sleep, then Cash Course Creator was built specifically for you. Now, the number one reason why people don't start is because they just don't know how or feel like they have nothing to offer, right? You feel like you don't have enough experience, not enough followers, you're not an expert yet. But here's the truth. The version of you from 1 year ago would pay right now for the knowledge that you have today. There's thousands of people online right now searching for answers that you're already holding. You don't need a PhD. You don't need to have a huge audience. You just need the right framework to turn your lived experiences into a digital product that changes lives and cashes checks. Cash Course Creator was built for that exact reason. You bring the story, and we'll help you build the system that actually sells it. Gloria was burnt out corporate lady. She went from $36,000 in 60 days. So she was the woman that everybody came to when they needed something done, the yes girl at her corporate job, the one staying late, answering weekend emails, and sacrificing time with her kids just to climb the ladder that felt more like a treadmill. She gave that job 20 years of her life. She was exhausted, divorced, two kids, and a dream so buried under stress and bills that she almost forgot it was actually there. But then something snapped the day that she missed her daughter's school play. She couldn't handle it anymore. She said the disappointment on her daughter's face was gut wrenching, right? And she had to miss it for a meeting that could have been an email. That night, she literally prayed, and she prayed hard. And she stumbled across some YouTube videos about course creation. She didn't even have a clue on what it was or how even to start, right? But she said yes on faith. No audience, no tech skills, no plan, just a desperate desire to never miss another moment that mattered. Gloria built her course using the plug and play templates inside the program. During her breaks, she did it when the kids went to sleep. She did it sometimes when she had a toddler on her lap. She launched to a very small audience, and she made 2K in 1 week. By the end of 30 days, you guys, she had already hit $10,000 in sales. And by 60 days, she did $36,000 from home. And now she's able to be there with her kids. You'll be able to get rid of no more paycheck to paycheck panic, that gut wrenching feeling of, will I ever have enough to cover bills? Get replaced with confidence and predictable income when you launch your very own course. No more trading time for money. Say goodbye to clocking in, missing family moments, or overextending yourself just to get by. Your course becomes your income stream. Even while you're sleeping, it's working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No more imposter syndrome. You'll stop questioning your worth, your voice, your ability to succeed. You'll package your genius and finally step in to the authority that you were called to be. And with the plug and play templates, systems, walkthroughs, guided success sheets, you'll set up everything with ease, even if you've never launched anything in your entire life, right? I didn't know how to create my own course or do the organic digital marketing, and wasn't able to find any resources that could help me when I went on my journey. So I had to create a comprehensive program for myself that would enable me to break free from overworking, missing my kid, and the normal hustle mindset that I incorporated my entire life, and by being a single mom, right? Without getting lost or struggling with feeling overwhelmed. So I had to create it, I had to make the solution. And one of the biggest things that got me when I was doing the course creation is that there's certain things out there that teach you bits and pieces, but nothing that takes you step by step, literally from when you start till the end, that you have a whole course, that you went from idea to literally launching and then to profit, like what I've created inside of Cash Course Creator. So Angelica, she was a wife, a mom, she was a full-time teacher. She gave her all in the classroom, but still couldn't breathe financially. She was living paycheck to paycheck like all of the other people, but she ached and desired to have those slow mornings with her husband, to cheer on her kid at soccer games instead of missing every match for school meetings and side hustles, but life felt like it was never ever going to give her a chance, right? She then had her aha moment after scrolling endlessly on social media, and she knew that she didn't need more hours, she needed a system, a path to create, launch, and sell the course that she knew she had on the inside of her, the very thing that she was already good at teaching, right? So, with zero tech experience, a full time job, Angelica carved out small pockets of her time and followed the step by step process inside the program. And in 60 days, she was able to bring in $56,000 in revenue from her course by plugging and playing and following the system that I teach inside of the program. Now, you might be thinking, I don't know what I can teach, and I completely get that, but here's the truth. You don't need to be an expert to create a course. You just need to be, like I said before, one step ahead of the person that you're helping. Most of the people earning six figures from digital courses don't start with some huge resume. They started with a story, a skill, or a struggle that they overcame, and they turned that into a transformation that others would gladly pay to learn. You don't need the credentials, you just need clarity. And Cash Course Creator gives you the exact frameworks to discover what's already on the inside of you that people will pay for, package your knowledge, story, or skills into a valuable offer, launch even as a beginner without all of the overwhelm, right? You might say that you don't have the time, that you're already overwhelmed, you're already working a full-time job, you have kids, you're married, you have no time at all. But let me ask you this: what's the cost of continuing like you are right now? Because not having time is the exact reason why you need something that pays you without trading your time for hours. That's the power of launching this course, is to get your time back. You don't need 10 extra hours a week. You just need a plan that multiplies your time, right? So inside a Cash Course Creator, I give you the exact plug and play roadmap to build your course in the nooks and crannies of your current day, your current schedule. You'll launch in 2 to 4 weeks with the templates and the done for you resources, and set up your automations so that your course sells on autopilot even as you're sleeping. And the truth is, not starting because you don't have time is the very reason that you need to start, so that you can get your time back. But you need to plant that seed so that you can reap the harvest. Now, let me remind you of everything that I've included inside the program. You're getting the CEO Cash Course curriculum, the entire curriculum from A to Z, which is $4,997 value. You're getting the community, the VIP community of like-minded believers, like-minded people, entrepreneurs, service-based businesses, coaches, entrepreneurs that you can network with. That's valued at $2,997. You're getting the Launch Ready Kit, which is all of the templates, all of the plug and play systems that you need, that you just upload to your computer, valued at $2,997. You're getting that included. You're getting the plug and play profit emails, right? The plug and profit emails that are already written templates that you just need to put your information into and allow them to run for you on the back end, collecting sales as you sleep. You also get the Cash Course Companion, right? This Cash Course Companion are the very guided worksheets and success sheets that you need, that will handhold you every step of the way. That's valued at $1,497. I'm including in the course. I'm also including the Visibility Vault, the Facebook training, the TikTok training, so you can become a mastery at doing your marketing and allowing the sales to just roll in. And I'm not talking about going viral and doing all these crazy things. This is a strategic, laid out plan that you can create all of your content in one day and schedule it out. That's $3,997 because they're both mastery programs that I've included inside the course today. I then give you the 5-figure launch lab. If you want to do launches, live launches, and get cash injections into your business fast, I give you the exact strategy and roadmap that you'll need for a successful live launch. That's valued at $1,497 included in the program today. I also give you the Evergreen Sales Machine, which is a sales system and an evergreen model that you literally just run on autopilot. After you set it up, I give you all of the templates, everything you need. Just plug and play your information and you're rolling. That's valued at $2,997. That's included today. I then give you the niche navigation guide. If you're thinking, I don't know what my niche is, I don't know what topic to pick, this is going to navigate you exactly where to go and how to pull it out of you. That's valued at $1,197 included today. I also give you the cash clock method for those of you that need a schedule. The schedule determines your future. It's important that you stay on schedule for your high income earning activities to maximize your ROI, your return on investment. That's valued at $497 that I've included today in the program. I then give you the plug and play tech pack. If you're not good at tech, you plug and play, you upload it to your system, you put your information in, and the ball is rolling. That's $1,997 you're getting included in the program today as a bonus. I also include the last bonus is Offers to Millions, which teaches you how to stack your offers so that you multiply and maximize your profits, right? Never worry about chasing clients again because they're effortlessly moving from one offer to the next. That's valued at $1,497 and it's included in the program today. Again, a recap, the entire program is valued at $27,164. Imagine this. If all the system did was hand you the exact blueprint to uncover a profitable course idea that you didn't even know was inside of you, right? If all it did was validate it in the market so that you know people are willing to pay, pre-sell it before you build it, hello cash in hand, and show you how to launch that course into $15,000 months on autopilot, which lets you quit your job, reclaim your time, and finally live life on your terms. Would it be worth a $15,000 investment? Not even the $17,000 that it's valued at. Would it be worth that $15,000 investment? Of course, because the truth is people pay $50,000 plus for college and still don't know how to turn their skills into income when they graduate. They go to work at a 9 to 5, not making anything near what they can even survive on, right? People slave away for decades and never escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle. And people like you, your one idea, one system, and you're one step away from cashing in on everything that you've been carrying in your heart. If all it did was give you the exact roadmap to package your knowledge into a wildly profitable online course, if it handed you step-by-step guidance to create, launch, and sell it without guesswork, burnout, or tech overwhelm, and say it set you up with only a 10-hour work week. That's all you had to work was 10 hours every single week, and it paid you the same or more than what you're making at your full-time job right now. Would it be worth a $10,000 investment? So not the $27,000 that it's valued at, not the $15,000, but would it be worth at least a $10,000 investment? Because truthfully, if you could work less, 10 hours a day, earn more, and finally take back your time, energy, and freedom, that's a complete no-brainer. And literally, it's a dream come true for everyone. So I had two choices. I could either make this program cheap, right? And not include all of the bonuses and value and leave you stranded with bits and pieces like most courses do. Or I can give you all of the value that you need to be successful, right? I had two options. I chose, obviously, to make it valuable. The total value is $27,164. The fair value that we've already talked about and that we already agreed that if it delivered on giving you your time back, it delivered on giving you $15,000 months, giving you a sales system that worked on autopilot, that the fair value of the course would be at least $15,000, right? Well, we're not going to do $27,000. We're also not going to do $15,000, right? The current price of courses on the market right now for this type of program is $10,000, right? We're not even going to do $10,000. We're going to do $5,000. That's the total cost of my program. And you get all of the benefits and bonuses that is included. So the first course curriculum that will take you from A to Z is the $5,000. Then you get the 11 bonuses that we went over, which valued the $27,000 of the program, right? So today, I wanted to give you an insane offer because the normal price of my program is $5,000. That's without any discounts, without anything, is the normal price of my program. Today, for 7 days only, I'm going to give you a one-time offer, a limited time special offer today, because I want to see more people truly, wholeheartedly living in their purpose, and action takers are money makers, right? So I wanted to give you a 50% discount for the next 7 days. If you take action today, you have this available for you at one payment of $2,500 if you take action today. If you want to do a payment plan, I also have a payment plan option where you can do 12 monthly payments of only $297. So if you don't have the $2,500, which will actually save you $1,064. And I also give a huge incentive and bonus by looking over your course before you launch to make sure that everything is in place. You actually get that one-time, one-on-one service from me if you make the one-time payment in full today of the $2,500. But if you can't afford that and you don't have that, you can do the one-time payment of the $297. So you want to make sure that you secure your spot today to gain access to Cash Course Creator when it releases on April 4th by clicking the button below. And remember, it's only for 7 days. And then after the 7 days, it goes to the full price of $5,000, or the payment plan for the full price program is $450 per month. So you have two choices, and you can keep trying to figure it out alone, spending months pricing and piecing free advice together, spinning your wheels and waking up every single day stuck in the same cycle and being overwhelmed and wondering when it will finally be your turn. Or you can make the decision that changes everything, like all of the other clients, like I did, so many people that are generating insane amounts of money and living life on their terms, right? By investing today. You're choosing the fast track, the proven system, the templates, the strategies, and the support from the community that will finally catapult you towards the life that you know that you are meant for. This isn't about just making money, although that's a huge benefit, but it's about getting your time back, your peace, and your purpose, right? Never again needing to beg life for permission to dream, permission to be present with your family, permission to go on those vacations to Puerto Rico, to overseas, to the beaches, all of the fun places, Dubai, that you want to go to, right? This is your moment. Do not let it pass you by. Click the button below to join. Remember, you get the CEO course curriculum valued at $4,997. You get the community, the Cash Course community. So it's not just you doing it by yourself. There's a community of people valued at $2,997. I cultivate an amazing atmosphere on the inside. You get the launch ready web kit, which is your sales pages, which is your templates, everything that you need to just upload to your computer to make sure that you're ready to hit the ground running, valued at $2,997. You get it included today. The next bonus is the plug and profit emails so that you have high converting email templates that are getting sent out, closing deals, premium clients on autopilot, valued at $997. I'm including that bonus today. You also get the Cash Course Companion. This is your hand-holding guide, your success sheets, your guided video walkthroughs and showing you the step-by-step process, valued at $1,497. And I'm giving you that bonus included today. You get the Visibility Vault. This is huge. Facebook Mastery, TikTok Mastery, right? And that's valued at $3,997. So you're not just putting content out there that doesn't convert, but this teaches you exactly what works and the content that you need to put out there to magnetize your dream premium clients to you. And you also get the 5-figure launch lab. If you want to do live launches, the cash injections into your business, you want fast, quick cash. This teaches you how to live launch and live launch profitably. That's valued at $1,497. You're getting that included today as a bonus. You also get the Evergreen Sales Machine, which is the webinar template from front to end. Evergreen, so you can have that webinar funnel going 24/7 selling for you. You also get the Royal Revenue sales system included in that as well, which is all of your automations, your AI, your funnels, everything, the templates that are there for you. Valued at $2,997. You get that included today as a bonus. You also get the niche navigation guide, right? And that's going to help you draw out of your inner being what your niche is, what your topic is, what your course is going to be. It's going to help you brainstorm and it's going to get you to where you need to be for where your niche and your topic and your course is. That's valued at $1,197. You get that included today as a bonus. You also get the cash clock method, right? That's a schedule that's going to keep you on track for a high converting schedule to make sure that your high income earning skills are being maximized so that you're not wasting time. That's valued at $497. You get that included today as a bonus. You also get the plug and play tech pack. If you're not experienced in tech, this is exactly what you need. All of the plug and plays, all of the templates, you literally just upload it to your computer and you have all of the step-by-step guides to insert your information, valued at $1,997. I'm including that in the program as a bonus today. You also get the Offers to Millions, which teaches you how to stack your offers so that your clients flow effortlessly from deal to deal and you don't have to chase clients, right? It's a complete dream. You get that and it's valued at $1,497 and you get it included as a bonus, right? Total value for the whole program and everything included, $27,164. But today we're slashing it down from $15,000 down to $10,000, down to the normal price of the program, which is $5,000. But you get a one-time offer which expires. You only have 7 days to complete it. But you get a one-time offer of $2,500, a one-time payment, or you could do the payment plan and do $297 per month. Just keep in mind that if you do the one-time payment today of the $2,500, you also get that one-on-one with me looking over everything before you launch to make sure that you have a successful launch, right? So the real question is it worth gambling years of your life not moving forward, right? I want you to click the button below and get started so that by this time next month, you can have sales rolling in on autopilot. And even if it only does half of what I've said and shown you from all the other clients, it'll pay for itself as soon as you take action and plant that seed so that it can grow and continue to pull in sales for you automatically, right? Not doing it today and paying double later, right? Paying that $5,000 later, or even worse, never doing it at all and going through life living under your boss's rules and permission to live or see your family. That's absolutely insanity, right? And if this wasn't amazing enough already, I had to go through years of trial and error, hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted on programs, coaches, ad spend, etc., to get to the point to where I could confidently, passionately do and create this offer, this course, making six figures and presenting it to other powerful women so that you could jump on board as well, right? So action takers only, one-time offer, $2,500. That's going to save you $1,000 versus if you were to do the payment plan. If you make that full-time offer, you also get that one time of one-on-one eyes on your offer, on everything that you put together before you launch. I'll look over everything, which I don't even offer this anywhere. This is just here right now. If you do that one-time payment today of the $2,500, or you can do 12 monthly payments of $297. Get started today for only $297 down. You get the entire program, all of the bonuses, and can start setting your automations up today, right? 7 days only. Then it's full price after the 7 days of $5,000 or $450 per month, right? So if you're still here right now and you haven't went and clicked the buy now button, tell me what's holding you back. You might be thinking, I don't have time to create an online course, right? But Brittany, she was a single mom of two, juggling two jobs, barely sleeping and living paycheck to paycheck. She had zero experience online. She didn't have any website. She didn't have any marketing degree, just a desire, a fire in her belly for more, right? She found herself crying in her car on lunch breaks, completely exhausted and wondering if this was all life had for her. And I've been there in seasons of my life where I've cried out to God and I've said, it's got to be better than this. There's got to be a better way, right? She knew she was made for more. She just didn't know how to break free. So she took a leap of faith as well, decided enough was enough, and she created her course. She implemented the steps. She went through the course and she created the course and she launched. She used the done for you templates, the done for you success sheets. She followed the steps, the done for you sales pages and tech. And within 30 days, Brittany launched her program. And what happened next is she made $15,000 in her first month. She made $22,000 by her second month and $58,000 by 90 days, right? Now she doesn't have to choose between bills or groceries. She finally joined the ministry team at her church and she wakes up excited about life again. Remember, you only have 7 days left, or 7 days before this offer expires, right? You can spend just 1 to 2 hours a day working on your course to set yourself up and your future up for life, for payments, right? For getting your time back, for sales coming in on autopilot. If you make the sacrifice right now of dedicating and committing 1 to 2 hours per day to get this set up, right, and created. Anyone, no matter how little time they have, can get this done little by little. You might think to yourself, well, I don't know what to teach, right? Remember, I have the Niche Navigator program that I gave you as a bonus that's going to literally pull out of you what to create, what makes you excited, what gets you passionate, right? So, through the guided video trainings and the plug and play templates, the strategic worksheets, you'll unlock the exact course that's been living inside of you this entire time, the one you didn't even realize that could change lives and build wealth, right? So, your voice, your story. Meet Jenny. Jenny had the same type of fears, the same questions. She didn't know how she was going to do it, how she was going to have enough time. She didn't think who was even going to be able to learn from me. I'm not an expert. She had that imposter syndrome. When she finally decided to take the plunge, she made 43 sales within 30 days of her launch, and she made $21,500 in 30 days. And now she's able to spend more time with their kids, right? So remember, it comes with the CEO success worksheets to guide you through. It comes with the Niche Navigator to help you with the topic, your course, right? And what your course is going to be about. It comes with the Visibility Vault to crush marketing with Facebook and TikTok so you attract your customers effortlessly. And it comes with the Cash Clock method to make sure that you stay on track with your schedule, and the website and sales page templates to upload to your site. It literally comes with the plug and play profit email templates for automations, the plug and play tech pack if you're not tech savvy, the evergreen sales machine webinar template like the one I'm doing right now. You'll literally get the template to make your own, to make sure you crush it, and a major bonus of offers to millions that teaches you how to stack your offers to maximize your success, right? So if you have any questions that I haven't went over in the webinar today, you can email me at stephanie@queenroyale.ai, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But again, today only, if you're going to be one of the people that get that one-on-one from me to look over your course, to look over everything right before you launch, make that one-time payment today of $2,500. You'll get instant access to the program on April 4th when we launch. Or you could do the 12 monthly payments of $297 by putting down just $297 today. You'll get the entire program so that you can get up and running, right? I believe in the honor system, and I believe that people are honorable and that they'll make their payments, right? So secure your spot, because you want to be able to gain access to the course, and you want to make sure that you're not going to be one of those people that delays or eats your seed, right? Remember, 7 days, and then after the 7 days of this one-time offer, it goes to the normal price of the $5,000 or $450 per month, okay? So now if you're looking for the bonus that I promised you, if you stayed until the end, I want you to email me the word bonus at stephanie@queenroyale.ai, and I will send you that bonus over immediately, okay? If you have a question about payment plans, besides the payment plan that we offer specifically through my business, right? You don't have to get approved through Klarna, through Afterpay, through any third party. We do that $297 payment plan, that 12-month payment plan. We do it based off of the honor system. I believe that people will pay their payments, right? And so that's why I did that payment plan for people. But we also do have Klarna. Some people get the whole program for like as low as $78 down if you go through Klarna. Just make sure that you grab it today, right? So your time is literally right now. Congratulations on taking the powerful, unapologetic action that you're going to take right now. The moment you said yes to yourself in your heart, right? As you're going through this webinar, you've literally burned on many things that I've said. Many things that I've said have hit you in your soul, and you know that you need to do this, right? And so I want to congratulate you because you've activated a new chapter in your life. And today isn't just another day. Today is literally a beginning of setting your future up and setting yourself free from the slavery of working and punching somebody else's clock. Today is the first day of your forever success. the day you stopped sitting on your brilliance, the day you chose purpose over procrastination. And from this moment forward, you're no longer waiting for an opportunity, but you are the opportunity now for others to be able to make that impact as well. You're stepping into the CEO you were always meant to be. Your life is shifting, your income is elevating, your impact is expanding. And this is just the beginning, Queen. Let's build that empire. And I want to see you inside of my community. So press the button below and sign up, and I will see you on the inside. Talk to you later, Queen.